Pretty good breeze coming through here. I feel like I haven't posted a video in forever. And I haven't. I haven't. See if anybody even comes on here. Hey, Miss Rhonda. I'm starting to feel better. I'm starting to feel better. Thank you. I just wanted to come and show my face. I got a pretty strong breeze coming through here. I need to close that. I'm starting to feel better. Um, it lingers for a long time because of my lack of immune system. It lingers for a really, really, really long time, especially when I'm in cool or cold climates like Cali. Southern California is a very cool climate. So, yeah, it lingers, but I'm feeling better. I'm just taking it easy so that I can be at least more well by Saturday. I go to my client's place on Saturday, and I'll be there all day. And I want to get a new video uploaded on Tuesday. So I've really been taking it easy. Um, it's tough because some things you can't explain, right? Like being diagnosed with lupus. Anytime I would have a lupus flare up, you can't see lupus. So like you can see the fatigue on the person, and when I have a lupus flare up, I can't speak at full volume. I'm just wiped out. But some things you can't explain to people. They're just like, you just had a cold, right? Or the flu. But when you don't have any white blood cells, it's not the same. So, but I'm used to it. I'm used to it. I've been this way my entire life. It really sucks. I really need to close this window because this cool breeze is fucking me up. So I just wanted to stop in and say, hey, um, let me tell y'all right quick for anyone who knows or don't know, but this is the cleanser that I made, the clove cleanser, and I got it all sent out to all of my testers. And so one of them, I finally got to shower the other day. What's today? Friday, Junior. I think I showered on Tuesday. And so I use this and I wash my hair with it. But before, hey, hey, no one's no one's on her wood, lady. I don't know what that means. Hey, Daniel. Um um oh, so before, oh, that's just a troll. That's just a troll. I got trolls coming on here. So anyway, so before I went and showered, one of my testers um had texted me and was saying that she used the cleanser to shampoo her hair, and she was like, "OMG." She was like, "OMG, my curls were popping." She said as soon as I put it in my hair. And so I was like, "OMG, I'm so happy to hear that." And then later on, when I went to shower and I used it, I told y'all when I made this that because of the amount of marshmallow root I put in it, This would also make a great shampoo because, again, it's all natural. Phenomenal. When I shampooed my hair with it, phenomenal. My hair is still 2 days later so soft. My curls, crazy. These, okay, I'm gonna have to get off of here because it's just all scammers on here. What is it? Daniel asked, "What is it?" So I am working on a cleanser specifically for van lifers. So I live in a van, and I've been living as a mobile dweller since 2017. So this I've been working on a cleanser, and this is one of my one of my latest formulas that I absolutely love. It's Castile. It's all natural, and this one is a clove cleanser. I used real cloves, whole cloves. And so I have some testers. I sent out some to some testers to use, but this is specifically for us van lifers. Anyone can use it, yes, but the formulation is for those of us who live in automobiles, vans, RVs, because of how we clean ourselves between our showers, right? Typically, we're using wipes and different things to clean ourselves between our showers. And this, it's an excellent facial cleanser, body cleanser, and a great shampoo. So it's perfect. I've been working on the formula, and this is absolutely perfect. So I have a few of my subscribers that volunteered to be a tester. It smells so good. But yeah, it's all natural. There's no chemicals in it at all. And I want it to stay a loose consistency like that because it it cleans well. When I tell you this cleans, like you feel it just cleaning and it leaves the skin so smooth and it's so moisturizing, so good. This is so good. So um I'm putting my energy into this to really get this formula popping, get it, you know, big in production, creating a lot, and get it into the hands of some mobile dwellers. Hey, Deshaun. Hey, D. I don't want to mess it up. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. But when I shampooed my hair with it, I was like, oh yeah, this is popping. So um, once I restock and get the reviews back from my testers and build out the product a bit more, I do want to send some to a few big channel van lifers. It's my birth. Happy birth anniversary. Today is also my auntie's birthday. It's one of my cousins' birthday. April Aries are beautiful people. Beautiful, beautiful people. Happy birth anniversary. That is awesome. That is awesome. Thanks for hopping on my live on your birth anniversary. That's dope. April 4th. Nice. Yeah, my aunt who raised me the first part of my life, her birth anniversary is today as well. And like I said, one of my elder cousins, his birthday is today. So that's pretty dope. You're probably a really cool person. It's just something about this April 4th. Like they're, yeah, really cool. The two people, my aunt and my cousin, like they keep to themselves. They're they have great personalities, but they keep to themselves. They don't fuck with nobody. They're peaceful. They're peaceable. They're fun to be around. They're not loud and obnoxious. They just really dope people. They're responsible. Yeah, born on this day. They're very, very dope people. My aunt, like I said, she raised me the first 9 years of my life. She's the one who taught me how to love myself by loving me. Like I always fucked with me, but just with how she cared for me, how she raised me, how she spoiled me when I no longer had her in my she's still alive, but then my mom came and took me. Uh it just, I was able to continue to love myself. You know what I mean? Because she had laid the foundation and she allowed me to be me, right? Because I always listened to myself from within, even if that meant not listening to her and ended up getting a whooping, which she didn't whip me very often. She was like, I was her baby. But yeah, she's a dope, dope soul. April 4th, I absolutely adore her. And my cousin, he's Scott, he's dope. He's a dope, dope human being too. And both of their birth anniversaries are today. I'm glad I'm feeling better too. I'm glad I'm feeling better too. You see, I'm still bundled up, but I'm glad I'm feeling better. And during this time, I just came on just to holler at y'all. I haven't been on, I haven't made a video or anything. I just feel like I'm so out of touch and I'm surprised I'm even still have subscribers. I'm going to be honest because, the page is new. And so to get sick for that long, um, but I've been, because all I could do was lay around, right? So I've been using that opportunity to learn more about design, graphic design, because now that I'm a part of the YouTube partnership program, I want to take full advantage of the things that I'm able to offer. So I've been learning more about design, about the features that Canva offers. So I used to have a pro plan for years and I no longer do. And so I'm also sick. Oh, Daniel, feel better. Oh man, hugs, feel better. So yeah, I've been working on a bunch of designs that I'm making all myself. My design skills in the last week has increased. I'm telling you, has increased. I've gotten so much better because that's all I've been doing is just and on YouTube University and in Canva just making designs. I went to the doctor. Oh, I hope that was okay for you. I don't fool with the doctor. Um, my mom was very holistic. I don't fool with the doctor unless it's like a broken bone or something that a doctor is required for. So I hope that was good for you. Yeah, I don't go down that avenue. So yeah, I have a ton of designs, a ton of designs. I really like them, and I updated my YouTube banner, my YouTube logo. So yeah, I've just been working on designs, making a couple of videos, not with my camera, but just in Canva, um, AI videos and just different things. So I figure since I can't move around and can't do anything, I might as well enhance my skills. I might as well use the time when, because I can still hear. You know what I mean? I can still hear. I just was laying in my bed and had YouTube on, or So yeah, I have a ton of designs. I'm taking advantage of one of the guys that taught me a couple of really useful Canva techniques. I'm using his 30-day free trial. How they have the affiliate links. So yeah, I'm like, by the time these 30 days are up, I'm gonna have 100 damn designs, 100 designs just stored up in my folder so that I can just rotate t-shirts out. So what I'm doing is um, creating them around my slogan, the Creative Nomad brand slogan, which is there is no box, think freely. You know, uh, for me, being a creative person, as a teenager growing up. I'm a Gen Xer, so we really like they used to beat it over our head. Think outside the box. Think outside the box. And so one day as a young teenager, I just remember standing on the block on Clinton Avenue where we lived. And I'm very visual. And I was just standing on the block, and I live inside my head. And so I imagined this box. I had to create the box. So now I'm trying to think outside of the box. And I just remember thinking to myself, that's too much damn work. Think outside the box. So first I have to create the box. And then I have to think outside of that box. I'm like, there is no box. Just think freely. Like, why would I restrict myself to how far outside of the box can I think? There is no box. There is no box. Just think freely. Just think freely. Allow your imagination to just soar. Eagles don't say, okay, well, just soar to the top of the oak tree. What do you mean? Well, I can soar 300 feet taller than the tallest oak tree. Why would I limit myself to just 25? It's just, there's so many questions that would come from think outside the box. Well, how far outside of the box? Well, there is no box. There's no box. Just think freely, you know? And I was always very imaginative, and from pre-K and kindergarten, this would be on my progress reports. Just I was a daydreamer. I lived in my head. So, I was always creating. I was always imagining things. And for me, the whole phrase think outside of the box, it seemed very limiting and very restrictive. So, um, as I got older and I created that creative nomad became my brand. That was actually uh, my first YouTube channel as a mobile dweller in 2017. That was my channel name, Creative Nomad. So as I just started creating things around that brand, that was my slogan. There is no box, think freely. So all of my t-shirt designs are with that slogan. So they're just different designs, all kind of different designs that I'm creating with that slogan. So I think that's pretty dope. And I know the fact that I think it's dope, there's a million other people that's going to think it's dope as well. So, it's just a matter of being patient and persistent and continuing to get better at creating videos, getting better at documenting my life in an interesting way, posting it on YouTube, building my community, building my Patreon community, and eventually building my YouTube member community and just different things like that to whereas it will, more people will have that impression on them to there is no box, think freely. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit your mind because the wildest thing that you can think, the fact that you can imagine something as wild and unbelievable, that right there is proof that is possible because you can't think of the impossible. You cannot do it. It's impossible to think of the impossible. If you can imagine it, that's proof that it's possible. Have a great evening, Daniel. Hey, Samaj. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm getting there. I'm not 100%, but man, I'll take the percentage that I'm at. Thank you for that. Needed to hear that. Absolutely. That's what I truly believe. And again, I always reflect back to being a Gen Xer because I was raised by a baby boomer. And, and it's not to say all baby boomers, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying the generation that I grew up in, that was the overtone. It was very limiting and restricting from the baby boomers at that time. Again, I don't want to tag anybody, but that was the era I grew up in, and that was one of the battles that I had as an imaginative Gen Xer. I don't believe in the limitations. I don't believe in just the small little box, and that's why it's like think outside the box. That's too limiting. I can't. So glad to see you smile. I pray for you. Thank you. Oh man, thank you. Are you African like the black homeless people? No, I'm African like your mama. That's how I'm African. Zoe is a troll. Yeah. Mhm. I'm African like your mammy. So anyway, these trolls get on my nerves. Like, what kind of life? What kind of life must you have to come on to see you're on YouTube. Like, let's all imagine this. You're on YouTube. You see a page that's live. You don't know who that is. You don't know that page. And you go on, and the only thing you have to say is the most unintelligent thing. Your parents must be proud. Your parents must be proud of the lack of intellect that you have to publicly present yourself like this. To publicly present, this is how you show us that this is how you present yourself to us. Your parents must be proud. I mean, your mother has to be very glad that she did not swallow you, because you clearly are a great representation of your upbringing. Kudos to you. Kudos to you, man. Kudos to you. That's awesome. I think you are so brave. And I want to send positive vibes always. Thank you. You're leading the way. If the system breaks down, you're good. That's a fact. What are you doing for the eclipse April 8th? Man, I'm on the West Coast, and I wanna see it. First of all, the moon is my friend. You guys just don't know how much I've learned from the moon over the course of my life. You guys just don't know, from a little girl to right now as an adult. They're like, I watch the moon cycles when I need real clarity, you know what I mean? Because God created all of this, right? And the moon has been around before human beings. So, yeah, I learn a lot. I'll go out and ask the moon questions. I'll sit under the moon and just, vibrate and just get a lot of questions answered. So, I'm hoping that, God willing, I will be in a great position to experience it. Yeah. Yeah. That's dope. Please stream it. You know, I don't know if I know how. Keep that content coming. Definitely. Definitely. I'll have another video coming Tuesday. I go to my client's place on Saturday. It's a cool ass breeze coming through my vent, and uh I'm definitely gonna have to close it. But yeah, I'm still just staying low key. Not having white blood cells when I do get sick, it lingers for a long time, especially being in a cool climate. So I'm just staying very low key. I go to my clients on Saturday. And so after that, God willing, I'll be turning my camera back on, and I want to post my next video on Tuesday and then be back into my rhythm. So, yeah, that's another thing. I've been thinking more about that, and it it I've been doing it all of my life, even before the internet. I live very much openly. I've always been an open book. Like all of my failures, people have seen in real life. Anytime I go into isolation, because I live inside, so I've lived very publicly. I've lived my entire life very publicly, and then being a seer, I've always been very vocal. And I think I was like 14 or 15 the first time one of my peers was like, "You should be a counselor. Like, this is really, really who I am," right? So, living my life on social media, I recognize that it takes a level of courage and bravery because even if you don't, or even if you don't think you have a lot of insecurities, some can arise because you're not sure. I'm not sure if what the content I create is interesting, or how to make it interesting, or how I just like, I don't want to be a character that's not anything I've ever. And yeah, it's just, I appreciate comments like that because I just never know. I never know because I'm not into creating a character. I feel like I'm eccentric enough, but I also feel like at times my life is boring because I'm very much to myself. I'm very, very much to myself. And sometimes I think, maybe you just need to do something just to create content around, like, just, and, like, I don't want to just rearrange Le Chateau just to create content around that. I don't want to just drive around just to, you know what I'm saying? It's tough. But the biggest part of my life is really figuring out how the fuck to become an entrepreneur and launch a business. And I'm like, that's what I'm going to create my content around because I feel like I'm in the best part of my life. My kids are in their 30s. I don't have any attachments. I'm free. My life is mine. And this is what I've wanted all of my life, to create a business, and I'm not looking for a get rich anything, but I have a ton of ideas. I know how to do a lot of stuff. I'm extremely creative and I have a lot of passion, and they're all kind of intertwined. They're all, yeah. So I know my channel isn't going to be like any other van life channel, especially not in the beginning. As I grow, who's to say? But I really just want to show as a damn near 50 years of age woman that it's never too late to create what you want to create. You're nice. You're the best live stream ever. I watch all your videos. Thank you. The same as him. You're brave and your bravery is so much good. And you're my first live I seen today. That's awesome. Have a great evening, Daniel. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So, yeah, new video coming Tuesday. I don't know what it'll be, but um, I do plan on turning on my camera um, probably Saturday. I probably have a little piece of, because a lot of people ask how I make money. And although I'm not as full time with my clients as I was because they just recently had a baby, so they have a full time nanny. Um, that's pretty much what I do, and that's what I want to get past. In this next year of my life, my focus is on taking me out of how I make money. Like 50 Cent said when they asked, "Why'd you kill yourself off power?" And he was like, you're not really making money if you have to constantly work to make money. So I had to kill myself off the show so that I can really begin to pull in big checks. And so that's where I'm focused on in this next year of my life. heavy. Like, you know how you put the blinders on horses just so they're not distracted by anything on the side? That's where I'm at. I'm on doing everything I can to create income for myself that doesn't require my physical being and my physical time to make money. So I'm excited to turn 50 this October. I am beyond excited to turn 50. I love growing. I love growing. I love seeing my years increase. I'm so proud. I'm so honored. Like, I'm going to be the same way when I turn 105. I'm going to be the same way. Everybody's going to know I'm about to be 105, you know? So I'm looking forward to turning 50. And I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. And that's how I feel. I feel like I'm exactly where I should be at this phase of my life. And I love it. I love where I'm at. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I don't feel like I should there's no shoulds in my life. And I think that's amazing because I'm able to focus on my present and have gratitude and not be disrespectful to this gift of the present moment, by having any shouldas or wouldas. No, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm thankful for that. And I'm present in that. So I'm not missing any seconds of my life. That's why when I couldn't do anything but lay, that's why I'm like, okay, let me learn. I may not be able to do anything. I may just be able to lay around, but during the time when I'm able to have my eyes open, let me look at YouTube videos on um, Canva, and so I take advantage of every second. I don't, I don't disregard any of it. You got this, and reflect. Yep, I don't take it any of it for granted. So yeah, I also but I want more. I think you have a brilliant mind. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm like, I gotta step it up. When I come back, I do recognize that. And I appreciate hearing that, Samaj. Thank you so much because I gotta give more. I've only been scratching the surface. I've only been scratch I feel like I've been holding back. My light went out. Oh wait. I think my light is going out. Where's my charger? But anyway, I do feel like I've been holding back. Um, and so I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm I'm very one word that I've always used to describe myself is intense. I'm very intense, and that's because I am so present. I'm so present moment, and with that, I give my all. So yes, I agree with you. When you said I want more, I agree with you. And that's something that I've been thinking about during the days when I was sick. You're spiritual, you're gifted. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And not just me saying that either. It's actually in my natal like I know that God showed me who I was when I was like 5 or 6. That's when I got my first vision. And when you grow up like that, when you grow up seeing and hearing things before they happen. And I remember talking to my mom about it when I was probably about 19 or 20. And my mom is so dope. She didn't disregard it. She was fascinated. When I was telling her all of the things that I've experienced with it, and she was like, "That ever happened with me?" I'm like, yes, probably the most with you, but she was really fascinated by it. And I thought that was dope. I thought that was dope that she didn't write it off or that's that's just whatever. She really was like, yeah, yeah, I know there are definitely, there are seers, like what they're called in scriptures. There are seers, there's witches, there's the jinn, all kind of people, you know, all kind of spirits and souls and beings. And for me, that's why I've always lived from within, because a little girl, I had my very first vision, and it was a trip because it was about me. So I acted it out because it was strange. I was like, what? I'm a little girl and I see this whole thing play out. And then as I got older, you see things happen in front of you, but I see them here. And then it happens here. And I'm like, was I supposed to do something? Was I supposed to stop it? Or you'll hear something before, like the people aren't even around and you'll hear it. And then here this you'll hit, and it's like, and people's landline phones will ring, and I don't know these people, but I know who's on the other end, and then they pick it up and that person's on the, and I don't even know who this people is, but it's like, how did I know who that was? And you just grow up, and then I would script things. I would script things because I hate being told no, so I would script things out. And as long as I stuck to my portion of the script, the other person would say exactly what they said when I went over this script, when they were completely out of sight, out of mind. And it's just. And then in my 30s, I read my natal chart and I had help reading that. And the person, I didn't even know this person. And he was like, "Are you psychic?" And that fucked me up. And I've had people just on the streets, I've had people just come up to me, strangers just come up to me, "Can you read me?" And I was like, "Why would you ask me that?" And they're just like, "I don't know, I just feel something." I'm like, "No, I don't read people." But it's a trip. It's definitely not like Long Island Medium or the New York. It's not like what they show on TV. Like, it's real life. It's real life. Some people really are seers and really are shown things before they're done and said and all like that. The masses are ready. Yo, you definitely my sister. I go through the same thing. Yeah, it's a trip. It's a trip. And when I saw it in my natal chart, that's when I was like, oh, I really was born this way. This isn't just in my imagination. Oh, or this isn't just some, black people intuition. I was born this way. Oh, and that was for me. I thought that was dope. I thought that was dope. And so I thank God for choosing me. I thank God for choosing me to be a seer. I think it's dope, and I even that, I don't take that for granted. I don't When I turned 40, I was like, "You know what? I'm not going to deny it." I said if I see something on somebody, I'm just going to tell them, because for so many decades when I see things happen, and I see it happen in enough time to whereas I could have intervened. But it's like, I don't, was I supposed to intervene? Like, why would you show me this? Was I supposed to do something? It's really trippy. It's really trippy. And I still don't know the answer to that. I still don't know if I'm supposed to intervene. I just know that when I turned 40, I decided that I'm not going to keep it to myself anymore because it is a trip. It is a trip. It's definitely a trip. And it was after I turned 40 that more people, strangers, would just come up to me and ask me if I could read them, or would just come up to me and ask me if I'm psychic. Just strangers, people I've never seen before in my life. And I'm just like, wow, okay, okay. But I don't read people. I don't, and I would never try and monetize that because I was just born. I wasn't. I don't even. I never went to any type of training or anything like that. Like I said, my first vision, I was about 5 years old. I feel guilt when I don't help. Yeah, that's deep. That's deep. You do. You do. Because, you don't know if you were supposed to step in. And you know what helped me a lot? What helped me kind of clear up some of that a lot? The book is by Paulo Coelho. Uh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. The Alchemist. The Alchemist. That book helped me a lot, especially the part when I don't know if you ever read that book. If not, check it out. I've always been an avid reader, but I've worn glasses my entire life. I broke them in Arizona before I came here, so I haven't had my glasses in 4 years. I missed them so much. But anyway, so I listen to audiobooks now, and I've listened to that audio I don't know how many dozens of times. But that book really helped me understand more about that gift. And especially the part when the boy, Santiago, is that? No. Anyway, but when the boy, when he saw a fish, he was just looking and it was the two eagles or crows, the two birds, the two fowls, when they attacked one another and he got a flash of the oasis being attacked. And when he told the driver of the caravan, and he told him to go and tell the elders or whatever, that part right there, especially that that book gave me a lot of insight into myself. The Alchemist. I love that book, especially being a seer. I absolutely love The Alchemist. I absolutely love The Alchemist. So, yeah, that's one of my go-tos. That is one of my go-tos because, when you're born this way and when you grow up like this and you go through your childhood and then the teenage years were probably the most confusing for me and one of the most active years. My teenage years and my young adult years, my young 20s, active, active. Like I was so sensitive. I was seeing and hearing everything. And it was just like, what do I do? What do I do? I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? But I never thought I was crazy. I knew the shit was real because I'd see it here and then it would happen. You know what I mean? I knew I wasn't crazy. I never questioned myself like that. What's the scariest thing you've seen? Um, the scariest thing I've seen, I would say, was one day I was, and I think I may have been in my very, very, very early 20s. I was between 21 and 22. This was the scariest and probably the most impactful because I'll never forget it. And I was on the city bus. I was in Minneapolis. I was on the city bus and I had already gotten on the bus and the bus was still at the bus stop and the door was still open. I got on the bus. I went and sat in my seat. I sit down. And when I sit down, I saw this whole image play out. And I was like, what the fuck? So then I look over. I was sitting by the window. I look over and I see this guy running to get on the bus. He had a bicycle and he got slammed in the middle of the door. And right before I looked out, that was everything that I saw. And I saw it in enough time, whereas I could have gone to the front of the bus, told the bus driver that someone's coming, and then by that time, the dude would have been right there because he wasn't there he wasn't there When I got on, when I sat down, he wasn't there. And I saw it all play out. And then as soon as it finished playing out, as soon as he got slammed in the bus door, that's when I looked over. I see this dude running to the bus, coming from the back. And I was like, and probably the next, it was two times where, and this was back in the 90s, right? So people had landlines, cell phones weren't big. I think this was even before I had my first cell phone. I think I was 22 when I got my first cell phone. And they had like the Sprint salesman would come around. And this might have been like 96, 1996. And I was at two different homies' houses, and their landline phones rang. And the first ring, I knew who was on the other end of it. And then when they answered their landline phone, that's exactly who was on it. Yeah. But the scariest was that. And then, like I said about the scripting, that was a regular occurrence for me. Regular. So yeah, it's a you know what else? Probably the first scariest thing, I was a little girl. I was in St. Louis. When I left St. Louis, I was 9. So I may have been 7. So me and the homeboys used to play tag on the monkey bars. And one of my homeboys, so we would be climbing the monkey bars. And here's how he would climb the monkey bars. He was fast too. But he would, instead of doing like this, right? So the grip is a bar. He would have for a split second both hands off the monkey bars. That's how he climbed. He would run up them so fast, but he would be like this. He would climb like this. And I remember one day it was slow motion for me. And I'm looking at him and I see both hands off the monkey bars and I saw him fall down the middle. And that next one, and he broke his arm. And it messed me up. I probably have to say that was the first scariest because I was a little bitty girl. And I was like, but when I saw it in my head, and this was after my very first vision already. So I had already been a couple of years having these visions. But to see him, because I was there, like I was right next to him. And I knew. And another thing, in the vision, when I saw it and I would see him, I said to myself, Shalonda, you should say something to him, about how he climbed these monkey bars. But we was kids and that's how you do your thing. But that split second, having both hands in midair, he fell and we were climbing up the middle. So he had monkey bars on both sides and he and broke his arm. You're tapping my energy. That happened to me also as a child, except I let go. I thought about that the other day. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. I saw that whole thing before it happened. What's a trip about that is it's like you experience it twice because you see it before it happened. And when you see it, I know for me, when I see things happen, I feel it. I feel it because I'm seeing it inside. And then when it happens in the physical, now I'm reliving it again. And it's just like, oh, wow, what? You're really just taken back. It's really a thing of just like, wow. I had to put some more light on. It's really, really, really a wow. It's really a wow for me. It's really, I'm sure it is for you too, because every single thing I experience it twice in just a matter of seconds. And, it's kind of trippy. It's kind of trippy, but it's very much real. And that's why I don't play with it. And I've always said I would never try and monetize that because I don't want God to take it from me. I feel honored to have been chosen to be a seer, and I would never be disrespectful of that gift ever. I would never. I don't read people. I don't do any of that, and I never would. I never would. Well, I'm a musician. Oh, I love musicians. Sending a shameless plug. How do you listen to music? What do you mean? I love musicians. I love musicians. And one of my most proudest experiences in my life is the fact that I am a friend of Prince. I never speak to him in past tense, but that was my real life friend. And I'm very honored and proud that we have a lot of mutual friends. You know, I grew up in Minneapolis for years, and back in the 90s, I was a VIP at all of the parties. They weren't public at the time, and I'm just very proud to say that that is my friend, like in real life. I know he's no longer in the flesh, but like I said, I never refer to him in the past tense, and that is one of my proudest. And I know a lot of them. I know a lot of the Revolution members. I know more of the MPG members. Like those are my dudes. If you have Instagram, I'm gonna follow you. Yes, my Instagram is the same name, My Creative Nomad Life. OMG. He's one of my spirit friends. That's what's up. Yes, send me links. Send me links. Send me links. Yeah, I love music. It's the same name as this channel. I have it linked. I have it linked on my page, my Instagram, but it's the same name, My Creative Nomad Life. Yeah. No such thing as a shameless plug. Yeah. Definitely no shame in plugging yourself at all. I love it. And I love music. Okay, I'll follow you back. I love music. I love music. So I write, not so much anymore, but I wrote a poem about music in the 90s. And everyone thought it was about a man until I got to the last line. What's on your forehead? My scarf. My scarf is I have it tied in a bow. And it's keeping it warm too. It's keeping my forehead warm. Cause whoo, it's a Cali cool breeze, boy. So yeah. But definitely send me links. I love music. I love all kind of music. I love country music. I love jazz. Yeah. I met Wynton Marsalis in my early 20s. I was back home working at the YMCA, and he had came through. He was putting on the show, and he ended up giving me will call tickets. Yeah, yeah. And like I said, all of the MPG band members are my guys. Yeah, yeah. And one of my good friends from high school, he just passed away a few years ago, brother Jules. He mentored with Prince for years. He mentored with Prince. But brother Jules, his grandmother is the one that got me comfortable with my gaps. Yeah. I was probably about 20, and they lived across the street from me, where my mom lived. And so I would go hang out with Jules's mom and his grandma, and we drink cognac and brandy together. And so one day, it was me and his grandma sitting down, and brother Jules, he was a DJ on the radio station KMOJ. Like I said, we went to high school together. He was a couple years older than me though. And so when you have gaps, you see it in your gums. Even if you don't have teeth, you can see from the gums that that person has a gap. So his grandma, because I used to always cover up my smile. And like as far as dudes always complimented it. Like I never, from guys, I never got teased about my gap. They never made me feel insecure about my gap. They always complimented my smile, things like that. And I loved my smile. That's something that from when I was 12, I was like, I love my smile, but I just would cover it up. So I had did that, and I was talking with his grandma, and we sitting down having some brandy or some cognac, whatever it was. And she was like, "Baby, don't cover up your smile." And she said, "I got a gap too." She didn't have any teeth, but she showed me her gums. And she said, "Baby, that's a wisdom gap." She said, "My daddy could never figure me out." She was talking about her late husband. She called her late husband daddy. So she said, "My daddy could never figure me out." And she said, "I used to tell him that's that wisdom gap." And from that moment on, I never covered my mouth when I smiled. I I was just like, that's it right there. Say no more. Say no more. And yeah, that was it. But that was Brother Jules, DJ Brother Jules. He was a long time intern with Prince. And this was my homeboy. Yeah. He was one of the mutual friends that Prince and I had. But that was dope. Yeah. I've had a dope life. And in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, it was just like, during the time when Prince was alive, music was fantastic. Music was fantastic. Music in Minneapolis was fantastic. Next to Paisley Park, Bunkers was my second home, and it was nothing to see Prince in there. Prince would just come in Bunkers Monday nights. He'd just casually come in, and yeah, it was dope. It was dope. So definitely send me links. I will hit them all up and follow you and do all that. I love music. I love country music. I love jazz. I love R&B. Um, yeah, I like 90s hip hop. I don't like um, a lot of the rap music right now. I don't like any of the new rap music. I like some of the beats and the music, but I don't, you know, I'm from the generation of lyrics being king, so I can't I can't vibe with these lyrics at all. So I refuse to even listen to the music or the melody because the lyrics I just don't condone. But I do love country music. I've always loved country music. Yep. I haven't found a country station here in Cali, but I did find a jazz station. So when I have, because I don't have any more of my CDs, but when I'm driving, I do have K Jazz. I got the jazz station play, so they play. Oh, careful! They play jazz and blues. I love the blues. I love the blues. Speaking of music, I know this is random, and I'm not going to keep you on here any longer. But when I think about the blues and even jazz, but I'm specifically thinking about the blues. You know how blues artists will play until they're dead? Like BB King was performing into his 80s. Why is it that when it pertains to hip hop, like what Andre 3000 said, right? I do love his new CD. But what he said, and the fact that a lot of some of the great hip hop performers, Redman, Method Man, EPMD, they're not, we don't have new relevant music from them, right? And with Andre 3000 saying, he feel like he's too old for that. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm wondering if that's because they battle or get caught up in the lyrical content of what's popular today amongst the younger artists. When it's like your fans who are your age mates, we're still hip hop heads, right? I would love to have a fresh Andre 3000 or Outkast album talking about some our age type shit, right? Like, no, I don't want to hear that young shit. I don't want to hear, these. I know, I know, Big Boy is a granddad. I don't want to hear him talking about whatever he was talking about on Southern Playalistic. You know what I'm saying? You was a single young man back then. You're a grandfather now, but you're a popping grandpa. You not some old decrepit grandpa. You popping. You still look good like we all look good. We still, we're still flexible. We're still active, and we still jam the hip hop. Method Man and Redman, and they still have their flows. Like, what's wrong with still talking about how dope you are as an MC? I just don't get it. Whereas every other genre, even country music, they still perform 70, 80 years old. What's the difference with hip hop? I don't get it. I don't get it. But when you think about a lot of black artists outside of jazz, like, think about how many of our dope R&B crooners died in their 40s. Gerald Levert, Luther Vandross, and it's just like, damn. Outside of jazz and the blues, our black artists really, and Eddie Levert, he done outlived every damn body. You know what I mean? Ronald Isley, he done outlived everybody. I don't know. I was just thinking about that. I know it's random, but I was just thinking about it. Like, it doesn't help push music forward when, we have really, really talented black artists in hip hop, especially, like true lyricists. You know what I'm saying? True MCs that feel like they're too old. I don't get it. It's got to just be the lyrical content. And so, yeah, that sucks. But I'll definitely listen to your music, and I'm going to get out of here because this wind is really fucking me up and it's not helping me out at all. Thank you for jumping on my live. Thanks y'all for tuning in. Thank you to the trolls that came on here. Keep keep making your parents proud with that troll ass energy. We love it. We love it. Trolls need love too. Get yourself a life, and we'll be praying for you. Peace, y'all.